It's 7 o'clock. Call to order. Okay. Any announcements? Guys, girl, ladies.
Who's here?
Oh, I got to talk who's here. I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay, you want to do this? Okay.
No.
Mr. Alan Hobbs.
I'm here to keep you
Mike
honest.
Bupp. Christina Carr. Myself, Tim Pike. Terry Pierce. Let me go to Ashley Springer. I got to go in order. Nicole Bocek. Did I say it right? Bocek?
Yes.
Okay. Gail Partain. Preston King. And Mr. John Strong. Welcome, everyone. All right. Call the meeting to order. Let's see, any announcements? No announcements, okay. Let's see, citizens' comments on the agenda items. I don't see any
No
citizens.
citizens.
Well,
Nope, and we received no comments on anything, so,
all right, approval of minutes. We have to go back to December 3rd.
right.
I was not here for that, so I will not vote, but,
Me neither.
all right, who was there on December 3rd? Are the minutes are in here?
I think I was.
Yeah, motion to approve
All right,
minutes.
Terry
December
makes-
minutes as written.
Second.
you want a second? Okay. Terry Pierce makes a motion, Ashley second. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any nays? And you and I are not voting, we're abstaining. Okay, so what's that, 5-0? 502, okay. Gail, you got that?
Well, actually, I guess three to Nicole, right?
Nicole, yeah. Do we count Nicole? Of course we do, right?
Nicole is a non-voting member, so
Okay.
All right, we'll put an asterisk. Nicole voted yes.
she approves in spirit.
All right. Now, moving along, February 4th, last meeting. Who was not here? I was here. I think we had, we had enough people.
Yep.
Everyone want to look them over? You've had time to look them
So-
over?
Just as a note, I did action minutes for the meeting just because I wasn't sure, and Terry gave me minutes yesterday or 2 days ago, I can't remember, when you emailed me those, so I provided both. Just as I can combine stuff if there's, from Terry. I just wrote the minutes just to have something for the meeting because I could not remember who had written the minutes last time, so.
Do you want to wait till?
Thank you for Terry.
You want to wait till next meeting to approve?
I think we can approve them now if you just want to say, approve edit the minutes as needed to accurately reflect the meeting. But I think I covered most of the actions that happened, so it's just detail.
All right, I'll entertain an approval of the minutes, which will be edited by town staff. Mr. Niles?
I move to approve the minutes.
Okay, we got one. Second. Boom, boom. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Who was not here?
He's
Six.
trying to vote.
5-0,
Two
yeah,
5-0-2.
two, good, okay.
again, because it's
And
the
Nicole
it's the other
said
two
yes.
that.
Nicole said yes.
Yes.
Yep. In spirit,
In
we can add that.
All right. Before we get to new business, we were asking Nicole before, when is your last day going to be, you think? We're not kicking you off, we're just curious.
August.
August, okay,
Yeah, because it's going to be the beginning of August, and then I leave the end of August.
okay.
Nicole, don't worry.
And we talked to the principal about someone filling her spot for September, or come to the August meeting and meet with us?
Sure, I mean, we can work it out. Nicole did this all on her own, so this was her initiative to be
you
a
been-
student member.
Have you been
So-
recruiting?
Have you been, you have anyone in mind?
Um,
Someone who's a rising junior, probably, because they have 2 years. Well, probably, right, Niles, 2 years, or?
It's entirely up to who's interested. I mean, I think we'll take anybody who's interested. But, if we want to have longevity, if you want to suggest that,
Sure.
I think that's perfect.
I have some people in mind that I could talk to.
Okay, would you talk and report back to us next time? Please,
Yeah.
thank you. That'd be great,
It's
Nicole.
been nice having
Yeah.
you on board, but
Yep.
having a high schooler on the board with different, younger view, if you know what I'm saying. If we can
Appreciate it.
And you started it, so thank you.
You know? Yeah, us.
Yes.
us- Yeah, we need some contemporary people. Us old guys, right, Mike?
We are.
Come on, I got you by 10 years, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you, Nicole, for doing that, and report back next time, please, okay, if you have any ideas. New business. Do you want to go to the old business, then go to the new business?
It doesn't really I mean, both of the things are your guys's, are for you guys. So if you want to do if you want to do the sign first, or if you want to do the streetscape, it doesn't really matter to me. So we could,
Let's go to the sign, because then we'll have plenty of time to talk about the streetscape. The
Sure.
sign is just a follow-up discussion about where we want it. I thought that was decided by the town staff.
so it's more about how we want it. Like the last discussion that we had was to put it in that sort of, Fife and near the Fife and Fisher Avenue intersection, sort of, yeah, up on that side. And just give me a minute, and I'll show you. I did a little map showing it. But the question, and Alan and I were having these questions, when we were talking about it, just us talking about it, was how do we want the sign? How do we want the sign sort of orientated here? So it's going to be this part right here. If you guys can see that.
Yep.
And so the question that we had, and what we were discussing, is if we're going to have this display of the tractor or something like that, or an artist rendition of that, or whatever, is how we want it all to come together. So the actual look and feel of it. So I took some pictures that were just generically of this corner. So give me a second here. I'll go here. And they ended up really big because that's how Adobe does these things sometimes. But I'll scroll down actually to Alan, who provided me today with these kind of artist renderings. So let me go here. Sort of artistic renderings of where the sign could go. So like he put the sign in one example here, which would require moving the Chambers map and such that's there right now, and maybe we could find another location for that or whatever. Or the other idea that Alan came up with was sort of putting it here. And so these are good examples of sort of the type of questions that Alan and I were kicking around, which is, do we want it to face Fisher? Do we want it to face the parking lot? Do we want it to face, how do we want people to interact with this type of feature? And so, just giving a sense of this area, and, we can kind of, Preston and I can work on like how, getting it installed and how it will look. The idea from Link and Jim's perspective is they want at least for now the sign up for this Poolesville Day, and then we can work on how we want a tractor or whatever artist display with it. Just keeping in mind, going back to that map that I showed before, that we will have sort of the space, we'll just go back up, the space kind of around here to figure out where we want that tractor to go. Like if we put the sign like right here, we could put like the tractor like right here. Or if we put the sign here, we could also use that location on this side, this bearing in mind that we could do something like that, okay? So part of this was getting feedback on what you guys think of what Alan and I sort of discussed, and then his examples, and then and then if there's anything else to consider that we hadn't thought of, and so on. So I'll go back to these so you can see them.
Why that corner? Why not the other corner on Fisher?
So part of it is that we use the other corner that gets higher traffic for events and things like that. It's that parking lot, the far one, gets used a lot more. Preston can talk to that a little bit more. I know he was talking about that.
And down towards the stage here, those corners,
Yeah.
since that's the main focus of entertainment, then normally we set up a lot of tables for the people who paint or the climbing wall. So that end is the highest used.
That far corner.
Over here, that far
Yeah.
corner
Okay,
down here.
all right.
So this corner actually down here, there's a very large green area that is not used.
Okay.
And you see the lower picture there that has the information sign you're talking about? You really don't get to see, there's a lot of green area in behind that that's not used for events or anything.
Right, I've been there, yeah.
Yeah, and my pictures, when you look at them, you should look at them in your packet, will show that, which is what I was trying to show. It's just they're giant on here, and I'm trying to figure out how to make them a little bit easier.
They were talking about, long-term, they're thinking about bringing an antique tractor in and setting it up. So we're going to have
Right.
some area, to be able to put that won't interfere with, the parks and stuff. I always believe those signs do better where there is foot traffic.
Yes.
Because from the car, nobody's gonna be able to read it. And that corner again, once the new development finishes up, we'll have a lot of foot traffic coming out of the new development, and plus everybody who walks their dogs and walks around Wayland Commons, it's right there, so they can see that. You know, we could even do it at a 45 because there's a crosswalk here, one right here, and it's kind of a Y. So we can place it in there so people coming and going, it's right in their face. See, they put a sign up outside of town, just one sidewalk, but the car, you can't see it, so we got to think about, it's going to be a foot traffic read.
It's
you know?
kind of like the sign in front of the beauty spot, too.
Yep.
You have to get out to look at that sign.
Physically, and where are you going to do it?
60 miles an hour, you can't read that.
Yeah. So, you know, so the placement of the sign, I like it in Wayland. If we do it wisely enough, people that foot traffic will have to be able to read it, and that's what we got to concentrate on.
So you like inside,
What's that?
you like
I-
the lower picture?
Yeah, it's the lower picture that he has.
Inside the pave.
walkway.
Yeah, and you know,
Yeah,
Tom
okay.
Kettler's thing, we can move that. I'd literally have it right there on that corner, so people coming across this crosswalk, the other crosswalk. is
Yeah, that's
right in
the
their face.
chamber.
Right in their face.
The chamber, sign, not Tom Kettler's thing.
I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm sure.
Yeah.
that-
And behind it would give us enough, if we do what size tractor, what we end up putting into it.
So are you guys thinking right now then doing,
Upper picture, actually.
upper picture, this one here, having it here?
That area, that's that.
Okay,
And the farmers,
perfect.
and when we had the meeting with the farmers, they were very happy with that corner, by the way.
Okay, that's perfect.
So you mean
I think that,
What's that?
I think it works, and maybe it's worth flipping
The
the,
upper picture, see, he actually put the sign on it, right
yeah,
there.
right here, yep,
Yeah.
Okay,
And that's right where.
I was trying to highlight it, yeah.
Two intersecting paths are right there.
yeah.
That would be the highest travel corridor.
And that is,
I would-
that is the actual sign.
What's that?
Yes.
That is the actual sign.
It's already,
Yes, it
it's
is.
already mounted, that's cool.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, it came mounted when we got it, so we just need to put it in the ground.
Have it perpendicular with the road so people can see it when they pass.
Could you do that?
'Cause if it's slant,
Yeah.
one way, if it's flat, you won't, well,
But once
Yeah.
again, are our cars going to look at it? Or do you set it up so people traveling, walking can read it? You know, that's the thing, because like I said, it's two that come in, and then there's kind of a pie-shaped walkway, and then they go back out. We had to put it out there, and we can always adjust it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not a set thing. We can set it, adjust it, and then we can
one side.
permanently set it up.
where is the daughter of the American Revolution tree gonna go? Have we decided?
So, we have to still have a further conversation about that, but, you were thinking, Preston, when we last talked about it, right, on the other side of Wayland, right?
Really,
Right out front.
outside of this building right here.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a couple of
Okay.
spaces that were missing trees, and so
Yeah.
we were gonna put it down here. on
Yeah.
this end.
And Meg Whitman is meeting at a state convention of the Daughters of the American Revolution this month to get us some more details. And so after that, we'll communicate further with her.
Okay,
All right.
good. Everyone, any discussion? Everyone agree with that, or like the
I just
location?
had one small thing, because I wasn't here, but I did watch the video and I did go over the notes.
Yeah.
About the poplar, it's a self-pruning tree, so it drops a lot of big branches. So we should probably keep that in mind when we're planting it, because, and they get so tall as well, I don't know,
Yeah.
it'd be many years from now before you can't get up to prune it, but that
Right.
is something to think ahead about, just because it is a self-pruning tree. That's just
And-
my 2 cents.
and one thing being our tree in the
good.
park, if we start shaping it earlier, you can kind of eliminate weak limbs.
Prevent that.
Depending how they're growing
Yeah.
off the thing. So, yes, that's a long-term thing. But if we do it when they're younger, because there's a couple neighborhoods now that we've been doing the pin oaks, and finally, beautiful. And they don't shed, because you got, you know, as it grows, you look at it and say, well, that's a weak limb. Well, even though it's a healthy limb, you can say, once the weight gets on it, so we can sit there and shape it, and it should have a great crown out there too, with all that sun
Maintain
and
it, yeah,
everything.
as long-
It will be a big one.
Yeah.
If
It'll dwarf all of these
Will
trees.
I know.
will that cover the building? I mean,
Yes,
Oh,
you
yeah.
wanna block out the building then?
it will.
It's not our issue in 50 years, right?
As it
If it
grows, the canopy will raise.
Right.
And once again, once we prune it, so it's not gonna be like a bush from the ground up. Like the other ones, right now, we're about 16, 18 foot up off the ground.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't lose, you might lose the top some, but you'd still have a nice, overall picture on that.
Yeah, I think we're pretty confident we can manage it, and that's the most important thing.
Because see, if our trees out there now are just starting to get nice crowns to them as it is. When you put that big tree in, that's competition. Where kind of down here, there's no competition for either, so you're not going to really mess with other trees too.
It's
Besides
pretty
that,
wet there too in that corner, right?
provide shade in the
What's that?
summer. It'll provide shade on the building during the summer, so keep the
Yeah.
building cooler.
So anyways, that's what we're thinking.
Any discussion? Everyone like the idea of the sign going in that corner?
My only thought with it in that corner is that if somebody comes in the commons from any other point and walks around the loop, they don't see it. You just
Well-
see the back of the sign, right?
No, they'll see
Well, it's both sided,
It
so
is
both
both-
sides are the same.
Okay.
Yeah, on it. So that's one thing. And then two, it's one of those things where it's right next to the parking lot, and so both parking lots get used. So it's one of those things where yes, it's on one side, but we get good traffic on this side as well. People who walk their dogs and things like that park in this parking lot on this side, and then start the loop there. So I think it would still get a fair amount of foot traffic, right there. But just given the immediacy of it to the parking lot. That was my thought.
Yeah, and I didn't realize it was.
I didn't know it was double-sided.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
I gave him, look, for the record, I gave Mike the wrong, now he feels better.
And one of
Take
the,
the blame.
one of the limiting factors too, they do want to tie it in with a piece of ag equipment, having enough area that we can
Yes.
put a piece of ag equipment. Because if I have to bet, the foot traffic down at the McDonald's Inn, probably equivalent
Yeah.
to it. I'd be willing to bet. I mean, within a couple.
Yeah.
I would agree with that too. Yep.
Yeah, because it's commercial in either way. But if they want to introduce a tractor or a combine, or I don't know, we don't know what
Yeah.
they're going to go with. We have to have the option of the green space, and we are
Yeah.
limited to the green space. And
Anyone else got comments or? No? Okay. So we'll put the sign there. Mr. Hobbs, you okay with that?
I am totally fine with that, so.
Okay. When will the sign be installed?
So Preston and I will get together. I mean, now that we have a location, I will check in with.
When I get together, I can get it up, because we
April,
have it
May.
down in the shop.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll just check in on all of that, but it should be pretty soon. So
We'll have
I mean, should I have to present that location to the commissioners on the 16th?
Probably-
yes. Why don't you do that as part of your report, and that way they're informed, they know, and I mean we can even we can bring it up on Saturday and just say what we're doing, but I think it's good to formally say it at the 16th meeting. But that shouldn't delay us doing it.
Okay.
Will we have a dedication or unveiling of the sign?
So that's where I think we want to have a conversation with Jim and Link, because I think they were kind of thinking of of in some way tying it into Poolesville Day and the breakfast and all of that. So I don't know if they're going to want to do a whole ceremony with it, or they just want it there by then.
Good.
So maybe we have that conversation and then see what we want to do, ceremony wise.
I like
You
it.
know Jim's not going to miss a opportunity.
Yeah.
He's probably already written the,
The speech.
yeah.
Guaranteed, Alan.
Guys, this is a public forum now. Come on.
But I mean, we have farmers are gonna be inviting him. It's gonna
Yeah.
be quite a,
Yeah.
um, dedication,
Should be.
so,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Yep.
But what I'll do on tomorrow is I'll send a message to Link and Jim saying that we've determined a location, and this is sort of what we're thinking, and Alan will present it, and then they can sort of run with, inviting the farmers and all of that, and how they want to do that, and when they want to do that.
Okay. All right, we good with that? All right. New business. Staff update on streetscape project.
Okay, let me go.
Taking it or Niles?
I was just gonna run with it first.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm the back filler.
I looked it over today. I read it, and right across from CVS is going to be a raised brick crosswalk. It's nice.
Not brick though, is it?
Well, that's one of the things that is getting changed.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. I'm going to try to,
It's a
just
great
give me
place
one
for it. A
second.
lot of people cross there. Yeah, I didn't see one at the county pool, though.
Right, and so I'll, which
right, don't worry.
I think I mentioned in the memo, but I've had conversation with our engineer there, and they are, and so let me see, I can, okay. All right, so the conversation that I've had with them is, and I'm just going to scroll up to that page, and then we'll start talking about it.
That's the very beginning, yeah.
Yep. Okay. So what we've had a conversation with them about is trying to do some kind of connection sort of here. If you can see right, kind of set back from the corner, because one of the problems with Fisher and Cobb is that the two entrances between the pool and the development don't actually line up, right? So you can't do a traditional kind of crosswalk. So the discussion that they talked to me about is so this is a swale right here. And the idea is to do like a little, like, for lack of a better word, a little like bridge, sort of footbridge
What a big.
over the swale and then having it connect over here. So the crosswalk will kind of be like this. The issue with that, of course, is we don't control the road here. So this is what we're hoping is that this design firm will sort of present this idea to the county and again try to get feedback from the county to do it this way.
Okay.
We have previously, John has tried. I don't know how many times, John, you've talked to them about this, but
Many,
yeah,
thanks, John.
many times, and they've always said no. It's the configuration of this intersection just makes that tricky from line of sight and other issues that don't match up what the county normally
And
wants.
it's
Go ahead, John.
cars know that driving by, right?
It doesn't
That's-
meet the warrants, what they call
Yeah.
warrants.
What if you get the neighbors to write a petition?
You can write all you want.
Yeah,
But the cars don't know that the curbs don't.
Right,
line
but
up.
the problem is
I know,
that you
John, we
don't
go
have
back
enough
and forth
people.
on this. I know.
It's not regularly used, and that's where you get caught in the warrants. If it's not regularly used, then people don't anticipate seeing a person crossing there at the regular traffic, right?
In October, December,
Yeah,
February.
yeah, and then all of a sudden,
May through.
people are in the crosswalk and they think they're protected, but people don't. They just blow through the crosswalk.
But it also lines up to a sidewalk that leads to our trail, right?
yes. So yes, going up into the pool area. From there, we have a trail connecting the pool on the backside, and so it connects all the way back into the trail system. So there is a connection there, but it means that this area is a little less safe for trying to complete that in the type of way that we would like.
As soon as we get,
Sounds like progress.
as soon as we get funding for that pool bubble, we'll have enough foot traffic to warrant people.
Yeah,
Oh,
And I think-
Joe.
There you go.
See?
And I think that's part of it too. Part of what we can say when we have a year-round pool is that we need this connection because there will be more traffic and try to push it that angle as well.
Now, Niles, I'm assuming when they're talking about the bricks, they're talking about removing all the bricks that are in the two sidewalks of that end, correct?
So that was
We don't
the
maintain those bricks right now, that, we had nothing to do with those bricks. And
Right.
So,
What bricks?
the bricks along. So there's a brick sidewalk here,
Where?
on both.
right where you see where it's green.
Like if you go towards White's Ferry.
Right, on the
you know,
right hand.
You got the barber shop, go right.
Yeah.
That side and that side is actually bricked all the way down to the
Yeah.
church and down to the pool.
No, not on the church
it
side.
stops, the
It
brick
stops at the house.
the Presbyterian church.
Right, it doesn't
Yeah,
go.
The
further.
Presbyterian church is here.
And the
Yeah.
Episcopal-
Or the-
sorry.
Right,
the
I've never been on the
Episcopal.
other side.
Because when the new
Yeah.
Stony Springs, they brought a regular,
I don't want
they
to.
brought a regular
dangerous.
sidewalk up, but there,
Yeah,
on
where
both
it-
sides of the road, there is bricks involved.
I'm sorry, I don't cross the road there. It's too dangerous.
But yes, this is where I'm sort of highlighting in green right here. If you can see that, that's where the regular sidewalk is, and then the brick is over here on this
That's
side.
right, yeah.
Yeah. So that I think we can start here by saying with the brick in general, what we're trying to do is move away from brick as the actual material, because we've had maintenance issues with the bricks and they break easily. They're harder to maintain, harder to replace, versus trying to go with kind of a stamped concrete or stamped asphalt for crosswalks that is consistent with the stamped concrete that is around Whalen Commons, that path that we were actually looking at earlier. And sort of doing that similar here. That will save on cost. It will still be a nice look, but it will save Preston's some time and energy there. And as Preston said, for this section here, we don't maintain it. For elsewhere is where we maintain it currently. But this is all to make it consistent.
Okay,
Does that part make sense?
very much. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So in this stretch, just as a sort of a thing here, we're going to maintain the current. So at other places, we are working with the width of the road. For this segment here, the width of the road is going to stay the same, primarily because the buildings on the sort of north side here are already in the right of way, and they're old. Some of them are very old historic buildings, and they encroach so much that there isn't really an ability to widen it like we're sort of going to widen or change the depth for like the bike path, for example, which we'll talk about it in a little bit. But that's just sort of an overall sense of that. Okay. Any other questions on this part?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Okay. Then going back towards West Willard and such, this is where we'll talk about again. There's sort of brick here, and that's where we'll talk about the stamped asphalt. These, some of this section will be updated a little bit because we already completed the sidewalk here on West Willard, as you guys are aware. Thank you. So some of the changes that they're proposing here, we actually won't do. We put that in our comments, which John wrote to them, because, and again, sort of cost savings, just because this is already done. So that's a good example of something where we've already made progress on what we want to do. And so we're going to go there. Outside of this, I don't think there's too much else on this segment. Did you have anything, John?
No.
Okay, perfect. Moving on. All right, so the four-way intersection here. The four-way, and I put the big version of this whole plan at Preston's spot. So if there's anything you want to look at in more detail after the meeting, you can feel free to take a look. Just don't walk off with that. That's my copy. So
Nicole, no stealing it.
So for the four-way intersection, we're going to have that raised, and it's going to be stamped asphalt. This is where we're talking about having the stamped asphalt to look like brick, but it will in fact be the stamped asphalt. It will be raised a little bit for stormwater management purposes and traffic calming purposes, and so that will be all sort of connected and redone that way. We're looking at how we want to do the feature in front of the old town hall. We've had discussions about that, trying to make it more the historic look of it, so that triangle, sort of restoring that kind of triangle look, but in a nice way. What they had originally put here in this 30% plan was kind of this little brick area here. We're probably going to try to design it a little bit differently. Wade and I were actually looking at some historic pictures of the old bank building and seeing how we want to make this sort of look a little bit more in keeping with that. And then the sidewalk here leading to the John Poole house, which is back here. There's this path here, which is in next door with the ferry crossing, and it's going to connect somewhere in here, and then it will connect the sidewalk. So you'll be able to go all the way from the new development into on the sidewalk here. John is currently working on the plan for exactly how that's going to look, and some other stormwater features, stormwater management stuff that's going to have to happen in a year or two. But I just wanted to highlight that as well, so there'll be greater connectivity. That's something that, as you can see here, is not done as part of this plan, but it will be sort of supplementary to it, and the town is focused on that as well. Any questions on this area? Okay, moving on. All right. Then this is where the new development is next door, Ferry Crossing. We're going to have the path here that has already been constructed. We'll go along and up and connect with the other one. We're going to have the crosswalk here. We're working with the developer to get their part, this little entrance here, added, and then we will be, as part of the streetscape, sort of completing this look here. Again, sort of the stamped asphalt, and I marked on everywhere where the stamped asphalt would be here. So the bike path will connect on the other side, and I'll show that in a minute. And then on this side, we're going to have a 4-foot shoulder here that can act as kind of a bike path, although it won't be marked out as such, but people will be able to have a little bit of a space to ride on this side as well. So going back the other way, which is something that was not expressly talked about in the original plan, but is something that, just based on the spacing requirements and everything, will work out. So there'll be sort of an extra feature there. Are there any comments or questions on this part?
Just one thing, where that intersection is, that is a raised
Yes.
crosswalk. Yep. Again,
Yep.
talking about a 3-inch raise, so not drastic.
They have some electrical boxes on the corner. Is that going to interfere with that crosswalk?
They'll come up when they go to do all the survey and looking at it, and these are 30% plans.
Yeah. These are not the final plans, but yes, things like that will all be worked out. And they just redid some of those electrical boxes and such, so we can look at that as well.
Okay, thank you.
Is that 4-foot area is that part of the road?
Yes, it's on the road. Yep.
On the road, okay.
Mm-hmm. So it's sort of in this. I was trying to see if I could do it. It's kind of here. You can see my green little highlight there.
Okay.
All right. And then, all right, then to this intersection. So right out in front of Town Hall. So we'll again have the crosswalks, and I believe this one is raised as well, right, John? This one here.
Correct. Yep.
And sort of continuing. So this is where we'll have the bike path on one side.
That one will be a little bit more blocky at Fife. It's expanded, if you will.
Yep. And then that 4-foot path on this side that we talked about. The center turn lane will be in here, which we had a discussion at the last planning commission meeting about a brief discussion about just making sure that there is safety when people are stopped at the intersection. We've had issues of people trying to veer around people who are stopped for the crosswalk.
Yeah.
And we've seen that a lot of that will be managed by what we're doing here, because by having the turn lane, it will make it more clear where people are turning and when people are stopped for the crosswalk. And it will be a little bit narrower with the bike lanes and the shoulder, so it will be more clear how people are supposed to behave at this intersection. Any other questions here?
That will still have our flashing lights there, right?
Yes, so the flashing will stay, so they'll be there and at the other end. And then,
Will we have flashing crossing from the post office over that corner?
At the Norris end?
Yeah.
yeah, we had not talked about that as far as I recall.
We can always add it later, right?
Yeah, we can look into it and see what we want to
I
do
know,
there.
I know I had spoken with some of our delegates, because there's some bills currently in the General Assembly talking about the additional funding for crosswalks. They're actually
Yep.
talking about putting cameras on them for people that run through the blinking when people are going through. Obviously, the revenue goes to the state, but I'd rather, for a liability issue, and I think every crosswalk in Poolesville should have lights, even the one that, they cross from, basically across Wooten. If you're walking on Fisher and you cross over Wooten into the townhouses, they should still have a blinking light. Because it's dark now, and I was coming in tonight and I was like, guys just wearing all black, and I'm like, it'd be nice just to have a little bit of flashing. Just gotta hit the button. So,
Yeah. And we can look at those sort of standards and how we want to implement that if there's more places. Again, we prioritized around the schools, so the high school, the elementary school, and then looking at these main thoroughfares where people are walking, especially right here with the businesses and everything.
Right.
So I think we can look at more places to look at them.
And Niles, I think the bills actually are specific to schools,
Yeah,
of what
yeah,
they're doing. So even with the circle coming down Wooten, with the
Yeah.
crosswalks that are going, I think they're going to be a mandate
yeah.
if it's approved. If not,
Yeah.
I'll present it again next year to Linda,
Yeah.
David, and Lily, and make sure it happens.
In the concept, if you look at the concept also,
Yep.
arrow concept, you'll also notice that there are pedestrian crossing signs that are supposed to go at
Yes.
crosswalks. And those are,
Yeah.
those are collapsible in the.
Okay.
Yep, and we'll show, I can show those in a second, but this is just the general stuff here. And that's also in your packet. So, okay, anything else on this area here?
That was good. Thank you.
Okay. All right, moving right along to the other side. There, excuse obvious little errors here and there, but we have another crosswalk here and crosswalk here. Again, as we talked about, the flashers will stay. We'll have the bike path along here, and that shoulder along here. And sort of the bump outs and everything that we're doing there. There's not too many. I mean, this is all consistent with the concept plan. I don't think there's really any changes in here at all from the concept. Unless, can you think of anything, John?
The only thing that and these are 30% plans, got to keep that
Yeah.
very much in mind. There's some green spaces that need to be adjusted.
Yeah. There's green spaces. There's going to be benches and things like that. So those will be put in once we get further down the road. And again, the concept plan shows all of that. So this is just in the design phase of where we're going. We would just want to show you guys where we're going because the way our timeline works for what we're doing is it's 30% now. We've already submitted our comments. It's the 90% in May, 100% in June, and then we're really rolling towards getting a bid out to do the construction. So, this sort of is the plan as it is. And so we're going to use the next couple of months just to really do those fine details. So that's why we want to show you sort of these plans because after this, it's sort of the little thing that we'll be doing, that will be advancing through the stages of the plans. All right. Any questions? Nope. All right. All right. Now moving right along down here. So this is the where Cattail is, and so we have the intersection of the crosswalks again here. This is slightly different from the concept plan in the sense that the median there is a little bit shallower than what was originally on the concept, and that's partially so that we can extend this 4-foot sort of path all the way down towards the traffic circle. And we'll talk about that a little bit. The other big change between the concept and this in just a moment as well, down near the circle, because we're going to also be extending the bike lane a little bit more to make it go all the way, because you'll see the bike lane sort of here. And in the concept plan, this part, we didn't have it as much. And I'll talk about why that changed on the next page. But that's really the main change here, is this sort of median here, just making it narrower. It's still going to go the same length. It's just, that's the main difference there. Any other questions there?
Crosswalk is added.
Yep, yeah. But I'm saying from the concept to this. The crosswalk was in the concept plan as well.
What about the speed hump that we have there by the school?
That's within Cattail, not out on
We're
Fisher.
keeping that.
That's-
Yeah, that's not going to change. That's up here.
That's
Yeah.
further down, yeah, okay.
Yep.
All right. I like the idea of adding that crosswalk. A lot of people cross there.
Yes.
You've been
Mhm.
asking that for years, man.
Yeah,
Right by that
that's
telephone pole.
bike crosswalk.
It's hit every year
Yeah.
with no wires on.
Mhm.
It does.
Yep. All right.
Wires.
And that's again where we're going to have the crosswalk signs
Give
and
us
stuff
the
like
right of
that.
way there. That's why.
Mhm. All right.
On the-
Any other questions?
Nope, that's good. Thank you.
All right. Perfect. So now to the traffic circle and the area next to it. So one of the biggest changes between the concept and this plan is this sort of stretch right here, extending onto the other page up here, right? So this segment, when it was originally proposed, was going to be bumped out a bit, and so the road would be narrower there, and then there would be landscaping in that area. But at the time that the concept plan was put in place, these townhouses over here hadn't been completed yet. And what has happened as part of that development is they've put in a bunch of stormwater management features here that we want to maintain going forward. So rather than tear it all up, which is perfectly good new infrastructure, and start over, we want to maintain that infrastructure as is. And so what that will allow us to do from a design point of view is just have the bike lane continue all the way up. So from the traffic circle all the way up, versus before it started right after the entrance into the elementary school here. So this allows it to be sort of more of a complete loop, sort of more of a complete system for what was intended. And so that is sort of the biggest change between the concept and here, and it is again a byproduct of there being changing physical environment than what was envisioned when the concept plan was done. So that's the change. The traffic circle, as you see right here, I think is, if I remember, John, is slightly smaller than the original traffic circle idea in the concept plan, just because of the logistics of the intersection, if that's correct.
No, it's not the logistics, the design standards changed.
Yeah.
From 2019
Yeah.
to when these plans have come out.
Yeah.
Design standards have changed. The other thing is where the park is, our arboretum area, they're also right in there. They're going to be putting a stormwater management device in there. It's going to be like a bioswale or something. Not sure yet.
All right, and and then this is the corner where the townhouses are going in. There'll be some more stormwater in there as well, but that'll be taken care of as part of the process that we're
That whole
moving
area
forward with.
is a lot of new piping.
Yes. Any general questions on this?
Can you get a couple more call-outs in that circle so we can see it a little bit fun? No, I'm just kidding. How big is the radius of that circle?
Can you tell, John?
Yeah, I can tell. Let me grab
Yeah.
the plate.
Oh, now I'm gonna, oh geez, now I feel bad.
Now you're
No.
Can we put something in that circle in the middle, like a tree?
It's going to be your
we-
statue.
We're gonna put a statue of
Yeah, our joke is that's where Wade
Big
statue.
enough?
Yeah.
Gladiator.
Outside radius is 50 feet.
Oh, wow.
The inside looks to be 33.
Yeah.
Then it's probably a.
Have a fountain there,
15 foot.
water feature.
The one part that's not mountable is 15 foot.
Okay.
I believe it's gonna be a.
Takes it right
road that people can drive over
That's
with
correct.
Equipment.
Correct.
Fire trucks can drive right over it.
That's correct.
I know, yeah, we talked about that, that was. Ages ago. When did this start, this streetscape? Back in the 90s?
Long time.
Yeah, it's been a part of, I think the first master plan it was in was the 96 master plan, I think. Yeah. And then the actual, like, we're going to do this was it was in the 2011 master plan
Right.
as this is one of the goals of the town. And then it's sort of gone from there.
Yep.
Well, part of it was putting sidewalks in, which we didn't
Yeah.
have back in the 90s.
My goodness.
Remember that? You couldn't even walk anywhere.
Small.
It was like unbelievable. There were sidewalks, they were all falling apart. You couldn't, it was dangerous.
Okay. And then this is just all the technical details, so I don't think there's too much to talk about with any of this.
Oh, I have,
This is all what John gets paid for.
now, could you explain this right here?
Niles, I asked you a question earlier
Yes,
about the street lighting, because
Yeah.
this has evolved over the years, and at one time, and I thought it was gonna be entered, that we were gonna add additional lighting down the street.
It does.
it does. It's just that won't show on this plan. So yeah, we talked about, sorry, go ahead, John. Why don't you explain that?
Yeah, the street lighting is, if you look very, very carefully, you'll see a little dip.
Yeah.
Where it's proposed, but,
Okay, so it's still in it then?
yeah, and it
It's still in it.
acts the.
And
Yeah,
I think that will help.
right.
There's a detail, isn't there?
Yep.
Yeah, there is a detail, but if you look right here, guys, if you see where I've sort of done that, where you can see a little point
Yep.
here, it says proposed street lamp.
Yeah.
So they're there.
Okay.
Let me see if the detail is here. Let's see if we can find
I
it.
recall it was.
Yeah, there is.
And John, are they all going to LEDs?
They will be.
Yeah.
There were, maybe it was on one of the sheets. I thought I pulled all of the sheets, but it might be checking the physical plans if they're there. We can show them that.
And now, as we tighten these things up, we get down to the
I-
final,
I-
when we have those lights go in,
Yeah,
I assume we were talking about years ago to mirroring the black ones that we have in the parking lot. I just want to make sure that we have power at each one, so we are Christmas decorations, we can add.
Yes.
And stuff like that, and, you know, when we put that pole in, have multi-uses.
I got you.
Yeah.
Flags, power, et cetera.
so when we do that, so that's a good point, Preston. What we'll do, I think that will come out when we do the construction, specs, which will be after the design is done. But we'll make a note of
Yeah, I
that. John, can you?
On a radar. And
Yeah.
Things like that get left off, but that's a nicety, we always talked about having uniform.
Oh, yeah.
lighting, And then
And
that, it just leads to all sorts of, things that.
Yeah, I think once we get to that point, but I'll make a note of that.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we'll do that. So let me just write down.
The answer is, that detail has been a point of discussion, but it's not included in that plan.
That plan.
But like you said, it's only
Okay.
30%, this is still
Yeah.
really a rough.
Well,
Yes.
so what we'll do, Preston, is when we get that detail back, we'll shoot it to you,
Yep.
and we'll make sure that it's what we want.
Thank you.
I mean, and maybe we'll just try to match. We'll look at what we told them, and then we'll try to match it and go from there.
Thank
All
you.
right, let me put that down now. Okay, perfect. Okay, any other questions on the streetscape? We can look at the concept plan if you want, in case there's something that from that you want to look at, but I think we're pretty good. I just want to make sure.
Very good, thank you.
Yep.
All right,
Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
all right.
Yeah.
Oh, I see the signs, pedestrian signs.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's the lamp, benches. All right, next on the agenda. Are you done, Niles, or?
Yep, I'm done. I'm going to stop presenting my screen then. But if you need to take a closer look at something, it's there. So.
Any comments, guys, ladies? Looks great. John, you want to add anything?
Been working on it a long time.
I know you have.
Yeah.
Good job, thank you. Boy. Okay, what's on the old business? Superintendent of Parks and Streets report, Mr. Preston King.
Okay. Hey, springtime's here, official, and I tell you how I know.
Declaring
We
it?
cleaned our salt spreaders out today.
Yeah.
Put
Ah.
them away, I'm calling winter's over.
Mhm.
That means we get a 30, in Maryland, that means we get a 30-inch snow. But, anyways, as you guys know, it was a long winter, for us. It actually put us behind on a few of our projects, because it was just, conditions we couldn't do anything.
Ice.
So we were trying to finish up our, new salt bin and storage facility out back. And literally, we were like 40-50% done, and then that ice came in and stuff. So this week, we've been trying to play catch up on it, but now I have ball fields. So it's going to be interesting how I juggle things. And it's going to be 70 degrees on Saturday.
Yeah, it's crazy.
My box will be filled.
Fields will be rolling.
BAA baseball people. They have started today.
They're already- I'm sure they're
Terry
already-
knows that They were questioning this, that, and everything. We just know it's coming.
Are they playable, though, with?
We'll open our bathrooms up starting next week, they won't be open, but we'll get everything turned on. And by the 15th of March, bathrooms will be back in service. PAA will be full swing. So the next 2 weeks, we'll be working on the parks. And I always, people have Black Friday and all, stuff like that. We have Hell Monday. And it's the first Monday after a 70-degree day. Because everybody walks the park, out in their yard, walks the trails. And all the damage that our plows have done, the limbs down. Trust me, people were like, hey, this and that. This Monday, I know we have a new person working up front. I already warned her. It's like, hey, next Monday, trust me, that phone's going to be burning. But that's our job. That's what we're supposed to do. And I like it when their citizens are out with eyeballs, and we normally try to address it as fast as we can. The environmental program just contacted me today. The trees they ordered that we're going to include into the pollinator patches, they're going to be in. So we're adding crabapple trees.
Oh, nice.
Once again, we're trying to develop a full year type of thing for pollination, and then the crabapples will feed animals in the fall time. So we're trying to make it more than just a pollinator patch. We want a full year type of thing. So I'm working closely with those, and I'm hoping, I think within the month, we're going to get the Eagle Scout projects for the bluebirds going. We got to do it because the bluebirds are looking already. They were one of the first ones, and so we got to get those addressed. I think we have 4 open Eagle Scout projects right now.
Yep.
I just took down the signage. I don't know if you noticed, we put some additional signage up for the ice. We were very concerned about
Oh,
it.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
And I
That's
put
good.
some big signs up, and in general, we didn't see anybody, and that, as a community, and actually Tara and I have been trying to do service announcements, you guys see me on the thing, so we're trying to keep the word out, as much as we can, and I think it paid off. That's one of my scariest things, and I'm an outdoorsman, I played on ice before and everything too, but you go through it, there's no coming back. It's one of those things that just could be, bad. So anyways, it seemed like the signs worked. I think the communications and the community stayed on top of it. So we had a nice event list with the ponds and everything. With that said, the ponds are going to a treatment program this year. We've been doing one pond over on Dr. Wallen. We call it Tam 1 Pond. And we've been doing that for the last 6-7 years. And now this year we're going to include Tama 2 Pond, Space Hill Pond, Congress Circle Pond. And due to our warming temperatures, and the ponds have set in, they're so shallow now, the algae and duckweed just grow. I can't keep it. It just doesn't. I can't do it anymore. And I never really got ahead of it anyways. So anyways, Habitat Enhancer, they got a program for us. We signed up for it. You'll see they'll start treating next month. We start doing it a little earlier in the town because over the years, I've determined if we don't start in March, we're behind it. Because as soon as it hits 70, you want that algae, you'll see it next week in the pond. So we're going to try to get in front of that. So you should see a difference in those ponds this year. Stevens Park Pond, we still have discussions going on with the county to try to get something done about the leak or whatever. We'll see how that shakes out. And like I said, right now, the next month, we'll be concentrating on ball fields, soccer fields, getting things up and operational for the teams that we, in town that we take care of on there. So, like I said, we go from one thing to the next, and we're just into our spring program out there. And once again, everybody's eyes. I'm very open to your calls. Say, hey, I've seen this. We need that. Just let me know. We'll address it. All right.
We still keeping the buffer when we mow?
Yes, and that's another program I implemented is, we do not mow within, normally about 6 foot of all the ponds during the springtime because of the waterfowl nesting. And we allow them to fully nest out, then we'll go, and we've also gone to normally just once a year, maybe twice, because having that buffer does several things. It's a good filter, habitat, things, and then a couple of the streams, we used to mow all the way down to the stream. Once again, we've gone back, the young trees are going, the roots hold the soils, we don't have the erosion issues with it. So anyways, in general, we've made a progress that, we are a very environmental friendly town now, and we think that Little things you do add up on overall health of our ponds and everything on that. And then I'll have to start my stocking program. That's a tough thing I gotta do.
Do you have a budget for that?
Sure. But anyway, I will, like I said, starting next week, I'll start bringing fish in for the kids and everything.
Moving fish around.
Yep. We'll get it all done.
Thank you, Preston.
There we go.
All right, next is the Town Commissioner Liaison Report.
Yep, nice and quick.
Hobbs.
So, obviously, we are continuing our advocacy for our, it's budget season, as we all know. So, majority of the commissioners, Link and others, we've been down in Rockville plenty of times, testified. Obviously, the pool bubble's critical. Our community center is critical. White's Ferry is still White's Ferry. I know it's starting to get a little bit more information down at the Virginia state level, kind of. So, but again, they have until July 1st, 2026 to take the deal or leave it, and we'll see how it goes. A couple weeks ago, Shebra Evans was in Town Hall. She is an at-large member. She took over Gabe Albernazzo's spot when he resigned, and now is director of Think Parks.
The recreation, yeah.
Recreation, yeah. So she's great. She's a huge supporter of Poolesville too. So she came out, had a lot of the PAC members out, and so it was a good meet and greet. We have another meet and greet coming up with Jim McNulty, who's running for an at-large seat. He's actually a current Gaithersburg Council member. But he'll be out. And then we have an county executive meet and greet coming up at the at the Methodist Church on March 18th with Evan Glass and a few others. So it'll be it's election season, it's campaign season. So, and they're all friends. I don't want to say friends of ours, but they love Poolesville, and they support us in a lot of ways. So again, we're lucky to have our relationships with our county leaders. They do listen to us most of the time. So,
Yep.
but it's good. So it's everybody can come to these. They're open forums.
Yep. And
Go ahead.
and the one thing, and the Fair Access Committee and the PAC are hosting 2 forums for all the candidates for county executive and all the candidates, or almost all the candidates, of the at-large seats. We're gonna end up probably having to do 2 of them because there's so many candidates for at-large.
There's
We'll
13.
do one.
I think there's
One forum with one and one forum with the other. And I literally was talking to Link today about when the second one will be. But those will all be in Town Hall. Last time, we also put them on our YouTube channel. So I just have to confirm how we're going to do it so they'll be accessible to the public.
I think one is set for March 23rd.
third, correct, it is.
Yep, March 23rd, and the other one is April, I want to say it's April 17th, but I can't remember off the top of my head right now.
I can text Tom.
But there's an email, and it's out on the town website and everything.
It is,
that
it
you-
is.
With that info.
Today I actually was lucky enough, well, actually I shouldn't say lucky enough. I was on the MML County, monthly county meeting to go over, again, some of the grant processes that are coming up, some of the regulations from the federal government. But basically, the gist of it is there is through all the states, really, there's so much fraud and some misuse and abuse of grants funding. So they're just having a little bit more of the policy and the compliance issue of it before they give the money. There's plenty of money out there from the federal government to hand out. You just got to dot your I's and cross your T's this year. That was good. What else we talked about today? Obviously, the budget, and I'll circle back with something with Preston, but the budget hearings for the county, MCPS, I think they're having another big one next Friday. And then Mark Elrich will vote on it, and the county council will vote for it in May. So we'll see. I mean, we went to another event was it last week, I think, with Ed and Brian and I, down in Rockville at the EOB building, Executive Office Building, with Mark and a bunch of the other council members. So I know they're worried about funding, but they just gotta trim a little bit here and there. And, again, as long as it gets distributed back to 20837 zip code, I'm actually happy about that. Talked to Mark a few times, including the PAC event, about getting another route up to, or another bus other than bus 76 up here for one in the morning and one in the evening. At least, I asked for two. I'd be happy with one, at least midday, so if people come up, they don't just hang around in Poolesville all day, which isn't a bad thing, but a lot of times they just, walk around. So, and they need to get back to their families. So, we'll see how that goes. They've entertained it. Data center meetings, another hot topic. I know Marilyn Malcolm's been running a lot of forums with that. So is the county. They've implemented a lot, but a lot of legalities, a lot of zoning, a lot of unknowns. So a lot of money. At the end of the day, it's a lot of money, but most likely the site would probably be where the incinerator is because it's still out there. They have plenty of land out there. It's a little bit easier on the planning and the zoning when it's dedicated. They have water sources out there. So again, they trick you with words of, you guys get a credit here and there, but they forget to tell you that your electric bill goes up, 27% every month too, running it. So, but we'll see. Depends. Still, as many meetings as I go to and research my own, I always have more questions than answers. So, we have our, we talked earlier, we have our fiscal year 27 budget this Saturday. So we'll go ahead and line item that for a few hours and make sure that we're all funded, and we'll get a new office chair sitting at the round table here, so Mike doesn't have to sit in the fixed chair.
What I'll do is I'll have one
Little kids
put in
table.
tomorrow. We don't need the budget for that. I'll take care of that.
I was kidding. We're good.
Like Bup chair.
Yep.
Yep. The honorary Mike Butt chair.
Yes. And of course, all the commissioners attended the good old, beautiful PAC event at Crossvines. Again, we had a lot of county and state leaders there. Had Jordan Satinsky, our commander, that's for MCPD up here. We had Corey Smedley, our fire chief for Montgomery County, to come up. And then, Mark was up. There was a lot of people,
It was a good time.
Lily Chi came up, April Delaney was up. I mean, it's but again, it's the relationships that we build. And then we have, several of our community service people. Good old Preston King was honored.
Citizen of the year.
Absolutely, right? How about that?
He was
Yep.
great.
He's blushing. You can't see it now, but he's blushing.
I was going to give him the award. And it just,
Well deserved, though.
Yep. John Spielman, another,
Yep. He was speechless for once.
He was, you know what? I saw,
He couldn't speak.
I actually saw him. I saw him at the hardware store last week, and he was talking about, he's like,
He's got the plaque up on the wall.
did?
so
He's
proud
like-
of it.
He got the checks all on the wall.
He's still got the checks.
yeah.
You got checks, come on.
No, I'm just saying, but Johnny, it's really.
It's on the wall,
you
the
guys-
plaque
you can't
is there.
believe How you guys made his day.
No, he said, I had no idea. He's like, I'd figure I'd just come in, do whatever. He's like, it was,
My man was
Impressive.
balling, too. I'm gonna say.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
It was great.
Well, you were kind of embarrassed too. You were kind of,
we
It
have,
was a good evening, though. It was just
Was.
fun. I've never seen John speechless to start.
Oh, see if he was.
but it was a great night. And then, we honor again Mary Lou and Don Hoffacker,
That was something. We decided to have that a legacy award.
Yep.
He's always supported the chamber for 30
Always.
years, and it very quietly does it, and he's always there for us.
But Al, you said something interesting. We draw so many politicians now.
Yes.
Unbelievable amount.
So we go through our budgets, and the PAC comes through, and it
Usually
goes
that's
up
about
every
$3,500.
budget, a few dollars every year to add to our, but the dollar amount is so insignificant to what you can do to get our leaders out here. Even if they come out for the little 5 to 6 o'clock happy hour, cocktail hour, they just come out to do their little thing. But they come out. Lily came all the way from Annapolis, and I mean, that's hour-and-a-half trip. She's like, sorry, I had one of my colleagues from the controller's office come because Brooke wasn't available, but Michael came. But like I said, April came up. I mean, I was a little surprised Aruna didn't come, but, it's.
Fair Access invites the,
Yeah, the Fair Access works with the chamber to come up with the
Yeah.
list.
And
And then,
Go ahead,
it's great on the.
I was going to say, Link and Jim and Alan and all of them deserve a lot of credit for having those relationships and doing those things and making the connections. But, that's a big part of it too.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's, when you can call and they answer or text and they send back like, no problem, make sure that, they fill out the registration and get their, their plate and everything. But again, the few $1,000s that we spend, not even,
Yeah.
it's
About three.
so well worth it. I mean, you're talking a couple $1,000s, guys, for an event for everybody that can generate
They all have a great
seven-figure
time.
donation for us. What's that?
They have a great time.
They have a great
Creating
time.
great
They love
goodwill
coming
with them.
out.
They know us now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we had a couple, I know Laurie Ann was sick, but she had already planned on coming and, a couple others, so.
They come see our town too.
They do, they love coming out
Yep.
here.
We-
Oh, yeah.
We show well when people come
Oh,
to
yes.
town and, they were like, this is a nice place.
And I gotta tell you, when you, like on the weekends, you go up to locals,
Heck,
they're always there. Somebody's always popping in there. You'd be surprised. Moving real quick, the commissioners issued a proclamation to good old Ron Poole for his stellar career, 44 years.
well deserved.
And he finally retired a few days ago. And remember, I mean, he's been, 44 years. He was 42 as the clerk, and, his last name is a legacy in its own. I mean, he's part of Poolesville. I mean, his, couple hundred years of generations.
And the mail service legacy of the pools over 200 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Whole store there.
Yeah.
In the
Yep.
post office, which is unbelievable.
Isn't it, though?
I
Yeah,
thought it was one of the
yeah.
neatest facts that I heard in a while. It's like, there's been a pool, started it, and it's been for
Uh-huh.
200 years, pool involved with it. So it was just like a.
He's a great historian of the town.
Right? Yeah. I mean, but between everybody that got awards and recognition, you couldn't have thought of better people that deserved it, So, I mean, I just appreciate everybody, It was a long night. It was good, but it goes by fast. A lot of people to talk to. Then again, staff recognition. I mean, Preston and the guys for the winter, never got a break. Cold.
Yep.
Consistently cold. Water main breaks out there, Ricky and all those guys out there in 6 degrees, 5 degrees. And the amount of time that you guys get water back up to these neighborhoods is nothing short of amazing. I know, again, MML call today, I have to listen to the finger pointing from MC Dot and MCPS and everybody complain. It was a generational storm. Hasn't had that much ice on top of a foot of snow or whatever it was. You can't do anything with it. So a lot of municipalities down county, just listen to them talked about it today. Poolesville is lucky that we have our guys that maintain everything. Didn't really skip a beat,
Yeah.
It's just,
And-
go ahead, Niles.
And I just wanted to add just on that staff recognition. I mean, Preston's guys are out there doing things. Ricky's guys are out there doing things. The guys in the plant too. You don't see them. They're not doing, but they're making sure that everything is working too. So I just want to say that for everybody, working out the plant and the shop and everything, doing a great job for it.
And
That's a good point, everybody knows my name, me, because I'm out in town. But there's so much, Ricky's department, on average, it's 4 hours and you have your water back, 4 hours. That's on average. Sometimes you have it longer, and with bad weather, have multiples over and over. 4
Yep.
hours, you don't hear that anyplace in there.
Mhm.
Then the guys at the water treatment plant, with all this water and I, they've been running 24 hours a day
Yep.
for a while. And they don't get the accolades because nobody sees. Hey, as long as people's
Yes.
toilets are flushing, it's a good day.
Yes. Exactly.
And you
Exactly.
see where that goes.
How to make
Yep.
a sausage, right?
And I'm glad you said something. And
Yeah.
the water department guys, same thing. They're, every
Yep.
day, they're checking our wells.
And-
Every day. We have
Yep.
great water. I don't care what people
think that we
say.
can send
We're
them-
tested all the time. It's well taken care of. and as a part of the team. And that
Yep.
goes back to Wade and some of the other earlier commissioners, allowing us to get the right staff, to get the right equipment. We've been very fortunate with the stuff that support us. And
Yeah.
once again, of the full team, from this office down to us, we've worked well, and the commissioners have worked well. So I never felt like we've been handicapped. They always like, what do you need? And
Nope,
they make it
exactly.
work for us. And it pays off. Like you said, these storms, it pays off. The water main, it pays off. These guys are there getting it done to the training and everything. So we're very fortunate. I'm fortunate to work here. And it just really
Yep.
has been the support from the upper staff and the commissioners.
Yep.
But it's a true, I mean, it's a true team effort. I mean, look,
Yes.
it's, if you can't support this, the operations of the town, throughout the day, all day long, and again, you talked about it, it's spring season. Now it's, you know,
Yep.
it's getting the fields prepped, and the ground's still wet from everything. It's not gonna be perfect, you know, and now it's not even rain season yet. So it's getting ready to hit rain season. It's gonna be unique, but you know what? It's just admirable what our town staff does, and, you know, I don't think the residents can understand. I didn't know. I mean, I'm guilty. I mean, look, but I knew what you guys did. I didn't know the depth of it. It is unbelievable how much work do they do in a day that you don't even know about. There's not, if, a small thing I might, you know, hey, Preston, you know, so-and-so, can you take a look at this? And like, he'll text me back, be like, yep, I was in the area, I stopped by and looked at it. I mean, like, I didn't need you to do it in an hour, maybe like in a day or two, but just put it on your radar, but that's the service you get. But you know, it's just, again, it's a privilege to work for the guys and the staff in the office. I mean, everybody. We have such a unique group of people, that look out for our residents, and, you know, I appreciate it. And that is my liaison report for
That was a very
the March 4th.
excellent report.
Thank you.
Maybe we could send the guys down at the Carter Rock sewage plant there.
Well, that's on a whole nother level there.
Yeah.
One last thing. We talked next Thursday as doing the bike track in Montgomery County. I put it in the minutes, and I think I put it one other place as well. Is that still okay with everybody? I know we have a couple of people who were gone last month who couldn't sort of chime in, but I wanted to see if everybody was okay at meeting down there. And I'll send the address and everything. March 12th at 5.
I won't be there. I'm taking a class.
Yeah, I'm probably out as well.
All right. I just found that out. I didn't realize I had that.
Okay. Do we want to delay it if we want everybody, or do we want to?
I could go by on my own. How's that?
Okay.
Just go by and check it out myself.
All right, that's fine. That sounds good.
I'll run
So I'll send out the address and everything, and we'll meet out there,
Okay.
and sort of do it, and I'll work through to get back here for fair access. So, all right,
All right, good. Thank you. All right.
Perfect.
Any comments, guys? Anything you want to discuss? Bring up, ladies. No. Gail, you want to add anything on the minutes? Mr. King? Mr. Strong?
Yep.
Good job on the streetscape. Thank you. Well, then it's time for a,
Motion to adjourn.
all right, we got a motion to adjourn.
A second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
You get 7-0? 0. All right, we'll see
Thanks,
you guys.
Niles.
Oh, next meeting. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
the next
meeting's not
meeting-
on here. Yeah.
yeah, sorry. The next meeting will be April 8th. April 8th.
April 8th, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It'll be nice and warm by then, 70 degrees.
Yeah,
Fully springtime.
exactly.
I know, right? Thank you, Niles. Good night.
All right. Good night. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.